Hello everyone, it's Kristen with HK Wax Center. One of my subscribers, Shantae Quinn, she asked if I could describe my college experience. I think I briefly mentioned something that I went to college but never finished, and so I meant to make this a long time ago. I just honestly forgot because life's been a little nuts recently. But anyway, if this is boring to a lot of you guys, sorry. Anyway, my entire family went to A&M, huge Aggie family, which living in Austin, Texas kind of sucked because everyone's a Longhorn fan, and then there's us who are Aggies, and I made fun of a lot in school for being an Aggie fan. But regardless of that, my dream in life was to go to A&M and graduate. So I had fractured a lower vertebrae in my back in middle school. So I had gone through physical therapy because of that. And so after that experience, it made me want to become a physical therapist. So I knew I wanted a job where I got to help people. I really wanted to have an actual relationship with my clients, and so I thought physical therapy was perfect for that. Now, keep in mind, right out of high school, so before I actually went to college, right out of high school, I started getting Brazilian waxes. And this is really just because I have such sensitive skin that I cannot shave. Anytime I would shave, that whole area would just look angry and it was not attractive. And by the time it stopped hurting from the razor burn, it was all growing back out. So it was just super annoying. So I started getting Brazilian waxes at European Wax Center in Austin. So I ended up going to, I started out at Blinn in College Station, well, technically in Bryan, and then I was going to transfer into A&M once I got my initial classes out of the way. So during this time, every month I would go back to Austin once a month and have my waxing appointment, spend a weekend with my family, and then go back to college. So while in college, I had a job, I was working, I was taking my classes, and then I think it was a year and a half in, I was in my sophomore year of college, and I was getting ready to apply and start my process of hopefully getting into A&M. And I started, I got diagnosed with some really, really stupid, pathetic illness. It's called a chronic Epstein-Barr. So chronic Epstein-Barr, basically, it's similar to chronic fatigue syndrome, if you know what that is. It just makes you really tired. You want to sleep all the time, which for me, I was always very active. I mean, I was in dance classes from, second on through high school, and I've always at least had one, sometimes two jobs, and so I've always been very, very active. So all of a sudden to have this illness that just kind of came out of nowhere, and I mean, I wanted to sleep. I could easily sleep 17, 18 hours a day, and I'd wake up still just so exhausted. But it really sucked, especially when you're young, you're in college, you're out of your parents' house, life's fun, it's great, and then boom, this happens, and it sucked. So I tried to just kind of push through it, and I went to, I don't even know how many different doctors, and because at first they told me, oh, you're fine, it's just part of life, and I'm like, no, there's definitely something wrong with me. So once I finally got diagnosed, I'm like, thank God I'm not crazy, because I started feeling insane for a little bit. But I tried to just kind of work through it. So I still tried to go to school, I still worked, and it just wasn't working. I was just so exhausted, and then I was making myself more exhausted by continuing to try to fight against it. So I finally, I decided to take a medical leave of absence from college and move back home. And then when I was at home, that's kind of when I ended up changing my lifestyle. So the doctors said that there's nothing you can do to make it go away. I just kind of have to wait it out. until it like works through your body, I guess, and then eventually I'll be back to normal, hopefully. So that's why I ended up moving back home. And while I was just basically resting, and I did still end up working, just because you get bored sitting around all the time. But I mean, I worked at Lifetime Fitness at the front desk. It was like an easy job. That was a job that I had in high school, so I just basically got my job back. So I was doing that, and it was really a point in my life when I had the opportunity to stop and think, like, what do I want to do? Because all I've ever cared about is graduating from A&M. I didn't even know what I was going to graduate, what kind of degree. It was just I had to get my Aggie ring, or I wasn't, worth anything, basically. It's kind of what I had, planted in my mind. And I started thinking about it, and I remember I had gone to my waxing appointment, and I was talking to my waxer, because obviously when you're naked on someone's table, you're just gonna get to know them really fast. So her name was Meg. I was talking to Meg and asked her about her job and what she liked about it, what she didn't, and how she got into it, and she was explaining it to me. And it was weird because as she's talking about it, I was like, this is a lot like the reason why I want to do physical therapy. Because for one, you have repeat clients that come back and see you however often. And you see that same person, you build a relationship with them. So it's not just like a new person all the time, which obviously you get new people, but you get to continuously see the same people too. And you get to help them. And I remember how much physical therapy helped me back in middle school, and how thankful I was and how positive it made me feel. And I really wanted to have that same feeling. So when she was talking to me about waxing, it was so strange, because it was like this light bulb like went off, and all of a sudden I was like, I can help people with how they feel about themselves, which is great, because even in high school, I mean, I struggled with I was anorexic for a little bit. I was bulimic for a little bit. And I think being in dance, it really just affected how I viewed myself, and like my self-worth and my confidence. And so I struggled a ton with just my self-worth, and am I pretty enough? Am I skinny enough? It was just, so being able to help somebody else feel good about themselves, whether it's their brows look awesome, or they can feel confident wearing a bikini because there's no hair there, or there's no razor burn, or their legs are smooth and pretty. You know what I mean? Just like, you feel so much better when the hair's gone, and it's awesome, because I knew every time I would leave my waxing appointment, I felt so much better about myself. So it was interesting, because at that point I was like, this is it. This is exactly why all of this crap happened, so that I can be here and I can find my calling, which is waxing. Now, had you asked me that, back in high school, I've been like, you're crazy, I'm waxing vaginas for a living, are you serious? But seriously, I love my job, and I love my job because I love helping people. I love my clients. I have amazing clients. And even all my new clients that I get, I've gotten so lucky with having so many fantastic clients, that it's fun for me to go to work. It's like I just get to like hang out with a girlfriend, and we're just catching up, but I'm getting paid for it. It's awesome. And it's really cool, because to go from being so devastated from thinking like, I'm not gonna go back to A&M, I'm not gonna get my Aggie ring, like I'm not worth anything, I'm not smart enough, or I can't handle the pressure, or you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, like, figure out that, like, no, this is why this happened. It's just breathtaking. So it's really cool, because now I'll tell clients, because they ask me, how'd you get into this, and I'll tell them about it, and they're like, oh, we can always go back and go back to A&M if you want. It's like, honestly, I don't want to anymore, because I found what I want to do. I don't need that the Aggie ring to feel like I'm worth something. I know that I am, and I know that I am I've found my passion, which is so cool because I know so many people hate their jobs, because I hear about it all the time with my clients, and I'm lucky because I don't. I love my job. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to tear up. I shouldn't get emotional about this. Anyway, so that was my college experience. And I ended up enrolling in aesthetic school that next semester. And then as I was in aesthetic school, I got a job at the front desk at European Wax Center. And then they had a spot waiting for me as a waxer once I graduated. So that way I could kind of learn like the business before I actually started waxing, which is extremely smart. I recommend it because it worked out really great for me with my transitioning into being a waxer from the front desk. But yeah, if you have any kind of inkling of what you think you might want to do, and if you like helping people and you like helping women and even men just feel good about themselves, highly recommend it. But that's it. Any questions, let me know. But I'm always happy to hear from you guys. Y'all are the reason why I keep doing this. So have a good rest of your day. I'll see y'all.